Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You're watching Nub's Handheld Collection, an even more limited series where we take a look at all the handheld games that I have in my physical media collection. As always, I'm your host, Victor Nub, and today we're going to be taking a look at Castlevania, Circle of the Moon. Developed by Konami Computer Entertainment Kobe, published by Konami and released in the United States on June 11th of 2001. The development and release of Circle of the Moon was timed to coincide with the launch of the Game Boy Advance in both Japan and in international markets, the history of which we will get into when we take a look at a Nintendo-produced launch title for the Game Boy Advance. We have two to choose from, F-Zero Maximum Velocity and Super Mario Advance. I would tend to lean towards Mario for that purpose, even though it's literally just the Super Nintendo remake of Super Mario Bros. 2 with a few additions. Pivoting back to Castlevania, Circle of the Moon follows the protagonist Nathan Graves as he, his mentor Morris Baldwin, and his friend Hugh Baldwin attempt to prevent the revival of Dracula in an old castle just outside of the Austrian Empire in 1830. Nathan is the current wielder of the Hunter Whip, which, depending on your source material, is either a similar but less powerful version of the vampire killer whip that is traditionally wielded by the Belmont family, or is in fact the actual whip itself. After Dracula's revival at the hands of the vampiress Camilla, Nathan and Hugh are separated from Morris by a collapsing floor. Hugh, jealous of Nathan for being entrusted with the Hunter Whip by Morris, decides to part ways to find his father alone, leaving Nathan to brave the dangers of Dracula's forces by himself. The game was designed as a hybrid of the gameplay styles of Symphony of the Night and more traditional Castlevania games, like those on the NES. Nathan explores a single castle with multiple branching paths to follow, levels up through experience points gained by defeating enemies, and has a simplified inventory system featuring armor sets and accessories to equip, but he cannot change his primary weapon at any point in the game. Nathan can, however, find the traditional sub-weapons that have appeared in nearly all Castlevania games to date to augment his offensive options, such as daggers, axes, and holy water. The largest change to the gameplay was the introduction of the dual setup system, in which players can find and equip 2 cards from a pool of 20 that unlock a variety of different effects in combination, such as augmenting whip attacks with different elements, as you can see on the screen here, summoning familiars, enabling magic and item crash attacks, and supplementing Nathan's stats. The DSS cards are dropped by specific enemies in the game, with the most useful cards requiring some rather extraordinary skill and luck to find, those being the Unicorn and Black Dog cards. Circle of the Moon was one of the few games during producer Koji Igarashi's time as a member of Konami's Castlevania development team that he did not work on. While he was critical of the game's rather dark presentation for the GBA's already dim screen, and felt that the DSS system did not fit the game world of the Castlevania franchise, he did offer praise for the card system's implementation nonetheless. Despite being one of the Game Boy Advance's launch titles, Circle of the Moon was not a huge commercial hit, selling 500,000 copies in the first month, but failing to crack the handheld's top 40 list of best-selling GBA titles of all time, a list dominated almost exclusively by Nintendo's own catalog. No surprise there. Critically, however, the game received near-universal praise, with reviewers lauding the difficulty, Symphony of the Night style of map exploration, and fun DSS card system, while many panned the dark graphics, low-quality character animations, and unimpressive enemy AI. In 2002, Circle of the Moon was one of 4 Castlevania titles that were officially retconned from the official series timeline, due to the developers at Konami's Kobe branch stating that the game, along with Castlevania 64 and Legacy of Darkness, took place in alternate realities. The 4th game to be retconned, Castlevania Legends, was removed due to the plot taking place in 1450, conflicting with the established lore that Dracula's first encounter with the Belmonts took place in 1470. In addition, there was an implied relationship between Sonia Belmont and Alucard that led to Trevor Belmont's birth, which would have made the character part vampire. Can't do that if he's supposed to be a holy character. Sonia Belmont has been retconned as the daughter of Trevor Belmont and Salva Balnades in the upcoming title Castlevania Belmont's Curse, so she has been written out of the continuity entirely. That's all the notes I had. Let's go ahead and get it started. I will go ahead and say right up front, we're going to do a couple of episodes for the look at this game, because we do want to see if we can get a couple of cards before we finish the look. It takes a little bit of time, including some grinding, to get all of the cards that you really want to like beef out the character and give him some options. Unfortunately, it handles a lot like any other random item drop in Castlevania games, where in some cases you'll get the card as soon as you kill an enemy, and sometimes you'll have to spend a lot of time grinding in order to get them to drop the specific card you're looking for. I'm not going to waste a ton of time trying to find cards that are really hard to get. We're probably not going to get anywhere near the top tier ones. Pluto is usually held as the best of the effect cards that you can find in the game, and Unicorn and Black Dog are held as the best elemental ones. We're not going to get anywhere near those. And not only that, but Unicorn and Black Dog require you to go through an arena towards the end of the game, where you have one shot kill an enemy near the end of the battle arena. He's the only character, it's like one of these axe armor type characters. He's the only character in the entire game that drops the Unicorn and Black Dog cards. There's two different axe armors, and it's a pretty low chance, and getting back through the battle arena to get it is a pain in the ass, to put it mildly. I have beaten the game at least once. I don't know if I've done it more than that. Wasn't my favorite game when it came out, but we will see what I feel about it after we take a couple of episodes to take a look at it. All right, let's get it started. I love the choral accompaniment at the menu. Very much Symphony of the Night type of choice there. All right. Let's delete one. Oh, there's none here. Okay, back. Guess we'll just do data select. Yep. We'll do the character name. No. Oh! We'll do the character name. No! Okay. Well, I thought I was hitting the right button. Nope. Calm down. Apparently I have some turbo buttons set up on my controller. We're using the Retron 5 to look at the game today. My Polymega doesn't have the ability to look at Game Boy Advance games, at least yet. I have a feeling at some point they're going to try to put a module together for it to play Game Boy games, because it turns out one module would cover a huge number of games, because the Game Boy Advance slot works for Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. One slot would cover probably 1,500 games easily, if not more. All right, let's see if they give me some text to read. It is 1830. At an old Austrian castle. From the worshippers of chaos rise the plea for the return of the Lord of Darkness. They're doing it nice and slow. If you remember the scroll from Symphony of the Night, it went faster than I could read it, and I was trying to be dramatic with that one too. You hear some loud pops going on in the background. I don't think they're going to be too loud. It is the 4th of July, 2026, the 250th anniversary of the United States. It was really goddamn hot out today, so there was no way I was going out to do anything. Not to mention, at about 5 o'clock, the skies cracked open, and God himself pushed his finger through and just unleashed a lot of wind and rain, probably because the heat dome that has been over the area for the last week has finally let up, and it just started pouring like crazy. So I'm amazed anyone's outside trying to light off fireworks. You never know when it's going to come back. All right, let's do some acting here.
We crave the presence of the embodiment of suffering, the ruler of darkness.
Oh.
I have waited for this moment, to be awake again. To bask in darkness and feel the moonlight within.
Count Dracula, I am honored to be in your presence.
Indeed, though I lack my full power.
We are preparing the rite to replenish your power.
Stop! You cannot be allowed to taint the world!
I remember. You were one of the vampire killers that sealed me. You've aged.
It is our duty to see you banished.
Amusing to use my nemesis' life to return my power. I have no use for children. Begone!
Or maybe... Oh, there it goes. Hugh! Nathan! Master! Father! And now they're separated. Bump. No creatures around here. Hugh, are you okay? Yeah, we were just brushed aside and ignored. We have to find Master. I'll go. He's my father. Nathan, you'll be in the way. Just get out of here. And where am I going to go? There's literally no choices. I only can go down. I want to find Master as much as anybody. All right, and we're on our way. I don't think there's a whole lot of options here. I'm going to check the controls real quick. Oh, crap. I can't do it in-game, can I? All right, well, I'll tell you what. Save state. All right, now, let's go to the main menu. Should have checked this before we started. I can't remember. No, control bindings. Control bindings. Button mapping. Nope. The wrong button. I can't remember if the Game Boy Advance has... There we go. Our profile. Okay, well, that's fine. Can we look at it? Can we look at it? Edit. All right, that's what I thought. Yeah, I couldn't remember if the Game Boy Advance gave you 4 face buttons or 2. It looks like it was just 2. There you go. All right, back up. Back up, back up, back up. Play. All right, sorry about that. And we don't have any items yet. One of the things that they do in this game that is very similar to Symphony of the Night is you find relics that unlock certain abilities. Those abilities include, like, double jump, jumping off of walls. I believe you get a sky, like, jump, you know, one of the gravity jump style jumps in the game eventually. Oh! Alright, good. You do have some looseness in your attack, or your jump ability. Very Symphony of the Night-esque. The jumping in the old NES games was very stiff, as anyone who's ever played the games remembers. You would usually jump, and then you were committed, basically, for the rest of that jump and all time to where you were going with that jump. In Symphony of the Night, they loosened it up considerably and made it so that when Alucard did a jump... First card. Salamander. Attribute and action cards will create a specific effect. These can be set at the menu screen, DSS option. We only have the one, so it's not going to allow us to do anything else, but let's... Yeah, so you can pick that, but that's it. We need an action card. We just have the attribute one. Yeah, they loosened up the jumping in Symphony of the Night considerably and made it so you could control your pivot mid-air pretty easily. There wasn't momentum to the jump necessarily. You could turn on a dime mid-jump and do it all the way down to the ground, basically. That is the right way to do it. If I'm not mistaken, that gap there is part of the map that you will see. Yep. Later, there is a map, just like in Symphony of the Night. This would have come out, I said it was 2001, so about 4 years after Symphony of the Night. I think the team at Konami realized that this was probably the future of their franchise, was making these games that were a little more Metroid-esque in their design. So instead of making traditional Castlevania games, they had like a Game Boy Advance division that was focused on making games that were a lot more like Symphony of the Night. Now, of course, when they did pivot back to consoles, they did play a little more traditionally, not completely. Lament of Innocence, which we will look at eventually on Nub's collection, does play kind of as a hybrid, just like this game is kind of a hybrid. Woo! Ah, we got another card. Mercury card. Oh, that's an action card, I think. Yes, it is. All right, so it's not letting me change anything. All right, so I think you hit, it's either L or R. There we go. L, and it lets us do a flaming whip attack, which it comes down not over time. I think it's per attack. And because you have a magic meter, you have to wait for it to recharge before you can use it again. I don't know all enemies that have the special attacks, or special cards, rather. So we're going to go through the game and just get what we get, not really focus too much on picking up lots of other stuff. Oh, and I got an accessory I should put on. Item. Arm. Wristband. A meaty 5-point boost. Hey, there's our first save point. Yes. I don't know if the battery on this Game Boy Advance card is any good. I would assume it is. Didn't load any existing save files when it was loading the data for the Retron, which one of the things the Retron 5 does is it's supposed to read the cart that you insert, and if there's any save data, it'll try to import it so that you can use it when you play the game. I don't know if I've ever gotten it to work correctly. I don't know if that's a sign that most of my carts have dead batteries at this point or what, but it just doesn't work that well. Hey, we got our first sub-weapon. So it works just like sub-weapons in other Castlevania games. You hold up and attack, and that's when it fires. Don't get hit. A poison worm. Why isn't it just a snake? There we go. Woo! I do like that the whip action, you don't really have to, like, it's not Super Castlevania 4 style where the whip is just kind of, if you hold the button, it just kind of falls limp and then you can, like, flick the D-pad to make it do different actions. In this game, it is very much you just hold the button down and he spins it in a circle for you. We're not coming up with the first boss yet, are we? No, we're not. Oh, come on. Activate. I think this guy has a card. I also think he's kicking my ass. God damn it! Stop! No more! I have no idea if this is doing more or less damage than my standard attack. Can't see the numbers. 12. It did a tiny bit more. Got him. Drop a card. Ah, you jerk. I gotta go all the way back and get to that save point. That was rough. I don't think you have a dash in this game. I'm going to try one button. Nope. Yeah, well, you might, but it's like, I think it's an effect that you add by either finding an accessory or you have to use the DSS system. I know there is a combination that allows you to do dashing. I want to say it's the choice that I have equipped right now, Mercury? Alright, I've hit my heart max. Don't think there is a shop in this one, so you can't, like, get money and use it to buy any equipment. No, overly horny shopkeeper like in Aria of Sorrow and Poor Hammer who desperately wanted to get with, Yoko? Not Yoko. Yeah, it was Yoko. That was her name. The female, whatever she was, hunter? I guess she was a hunter? That was this first game, at least, was strange because a lot of characters there were acting like, hey, we gotta watch out for this guy. He's dangerous. The whole time. And you're like, I don't know why I'm dangerous, guys. I'm defeating all the monsters in the castle. I think I'm all right. Nah, we can't trust you. Of course, Alucard's hiding as a Japanese man, which is already strange. He had to go undercover as a character named, I can't remember what they called him in the game. It was just one of those weird Koji Igarashi ideas. Look, I would say his track record with the DS and Game Boy Advance games was more hit than miss, but I don't know if changing Alucard's ethnicity when his mother and father were both European made any damn sense. Owie! Dagger's not going to do much. No. It did a little bit more damage when I did the fire whip. Tiny bit more. Gotcha. Alright, we're not going to fuss with him even if he drops a card. Oh, look at that. Nice. Aha! Dash boots. Now I can run. Double tap forward to perform a dash move. I don't think it includes any special attacks, at least none that I remember. You gotta use dash to get over the gap there. Yep, that's why they put it there. Whee! Unfortunately, I don't think you can transform into a wolf in this game. I think you can do some transformations, but I don't remember. It's been a while since I played it. Alright, let's go down and left. I don't know what up and left will lead to. The wristband. Well, you know what? That looks like it's an area transfer point, so oh god. Let's go this way. Just see if it's a standard room. I don't remember if there are any hidden walls. It's Castlevania. There's probably a ton of them. Oh, this is a transfer point. They're both transfer points. We can't do anything here. This is something where you need the strength relic, whatever the hell it's called, to push. Uh-oh. Whoa! Fell away. Hey, a heart refresh item. Whee! No fall damage, probably the right call. Of course, I choose to take a drink while the game decides not to move forward. I was about to say, why the hell are you not dying? Not a ton of damage with the spinning whip. It's a 10th of your current attack damage. Oh, hey, cool. I'll take a magic gauntlet. Let's see. Lose a little bit of strength, gain a little bit of intelligence, which will help us with our magic attack when we do it. Which we haven't been doing. It's going to work on him real well, probably. Or not. It did a tiny bit more damage. Oh! Can't hit me. Get up. And I don't know if this is, frankly, I don't remember if this is the case. If, you have to get, or you have the opportunity to get the cards in this game from multiple enemies, or if it's exactly one enemy and that's it. Probably not the greatest design choice ever to make it exactly one enemy, but who knows. I didn't just get poisoned, did I? I did. Oh, I don't have an antidote. All right, let's turn that off. I'm not using it. Oh. Ooh! Ha 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 ha! Suck it! Alright, we need to find a save room. Quickly. Oh, I'm cured. Nope, not there. Now, one of the things that they did do, probably because I realized there were going to be people who were bummed out that they couldn't get some of the harder to find cards in the game, they did make it so that if you made your name certain special code names, you would gain different stats. And one of them I thought about doing, and I just forgot to try it altogether, is called... Oh. It's called Thief, I want to say. And if you call your file Thief, it cranks your luck up way higher, but it also reduces your stats to dog crap, so you are really weak, but you have a higher chance of getting special items. Alright, got a max up. I'm just going to stand here and let them run into me for a bit while I take a drink. It is the 4th. I decided to have a little libation for the recording here today. right, that's enough. I'm sure the enemy drops items and also gives you experience while you're doing that, but I don't want to sit there all day. No secret wall. I would like something other than the dagger. It kind of sucks. Now, I'm going to say I think, and I don't know for certain, that this game... Ah, perfect. This game's item crash works the same as the one in Harmony of Dissonance, which would be awesome because that was basically a game breaker. The item crash in Harmony of Dissonance, if you had the dagger and you did the item crash attack, he did a move where he just threw a ton of daggers really fast. There was no better way in that game to defeat bosses than to do the dagger item crash and make sure that you were lined up so that you were hitting them with the daggers. It was basically an instant win move. Uh-oh. Woo! Yeah, let's go this way. Hey! Oh, and another chance at this guy. Alright, so, well, that answers my question. You do get another shot at this character if you didn't kill him in the one room. And he didn't drop it. I don't remember this being the case. Oh, you can dash. Or slide, rather. I don't remember this being the case, but I want to say there are only the 1 or 2 characters in the entire game, and we've already seen them, that give you one guaranteed hard drop, just to kind of get you a taste of the action before you play through the game. Kind of give you a free sample to get you hooked. Whee! Whoa! Whoa! So it's funny, I never owned a Game Boy Advance, and when I bought a Nintendo DS, that's when I started picking up Game Boy Advance games, because I found out that it gave you the ability to play Game Boy Advance games with its little loader slot on the underside, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'll pick up all the games that I missed out on because I'd never bought the hardware for the Game Boy Advance. And that's, I think, Circle the Moon was probably the first game that I bought for the console. I don't even think it was a DS game. I just really wanted to play the Game Boy Castlevania games, because I was a huge fan of, Symphony of the Night. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And I heard that they made a bunch of Game Boy Advance games that I happened to play just like it. Now, not all of them did. Harmony of Dissonance is probably the closest to a more traditional Castlevania on the NES style of game than any of the others. But all 3 of them had an explorable map, which not something that you necessarily had on all 3 of the NES games. One game specifically, the second one, Simon's Quest, had a map that you could wander around on. You didn't actually have a Metroid style of map drawn on the screen, kind of like this, but you could go back and forth through areas all you wanted in Simon's Quest. Oop. Get out of here. Get. Whoa! Oh. Not exactly the fastest whipping action of all time. I would have liked it a tiny bit faster, but I'm hoping that just means that Okay, we're fine. So I said, did I just go in the wrong direction? Alright, I think I can do this. Yep! Can't hold the attack button and spin the whip unless you're landed on the ground, it looks like. Yeah, if your whip action is complete before you land it, it doesn't spin when you touch ground. Oh, perfect. I got our first armor piece. Cool. Huge boost to my intelligence. The more of that you get, the better your elemental attacks will be. And in fact... Alright, Alright, it's 22 there. And now it's... Oh, that's worse. Yeah, not every element's going to work against every enemy in this game. Good news is they give you a ton of elements that you can pick up. You get fire, ice, earth, wind, and lightning, I think, are distinct in this game. Holy, dark. How many was that? Fire, ice, lightning, wind, earth, holy, dark, and there's one more that I'm blanking on. Poison. There's a poison item that you get at some point in the game, I think. Or a poison card, rather. Manticore. He's the one that I think gives you the poison in this game. I got the poison. I got the remedy. Oh! Oh! All right, is there anything I could trigger back this way to unlock the path, or do I have to go up and over every time? No, that's a one-way path. All right. Oh, I got cold feet. I jumped and then I was like, wait, what if something bad happens? Oh, very nice. A health up. A dagger I don't want. I don't want that. Whee! Oh, oh, look at that dodge. Whoo! He thought he had me. He had nothing. Gee up. Gee up. Now, similar to the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, I don't have a ton of Game Boy Advance games. We've already looked at one at length on the channel. We did a complete playthrough of Shining Force Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. That is a Game Boy Advance game. Most of the games that I picked up, I really didn't want small, like, one-sitting type games. Most of them were like meteor long-form experiences, like the Castlevania games. The RPGs, for the most part, were the ones that I was going after. We gotta go down. Yeah, if it was something like a Game Boy, a Super Mario, where it was like a one-sitting game and I already owned the game in other forms, I didn't really bother with that. We will pick up a copy of Game Boy or Super Mario Advance. I don't know, keep saying Game Boy Advance. Eventually, just to take a look at it as part of the channel and, again, the history of the Game Boy Advance. But yeah, I didn't really need that game because I already had Super Mario All-Stars. And we've looked at Super Mario All-Stars and all the games basically in the NES versions already on the channel. So it would really be more looking at the special additional stuff that they added. Like there is a mode in Super Mario Bros. 2 because it's a combo pack. You got the Super Mario Bros. 2 game, but also I think it had just Mario Brothers, the old arcade game where you're bopping on underneath turtles and crabs and flipping them over. They added some stuff for... It may have been both games, but I specifically remember reading about the Super Mario Bros. 2 game. They added like a coin hunt mode where you had to find specific, like Yoshi coins, I think it was. And they hid 5 of them through levels, and you had to find those in order to complete special tasks. I don't know if these guys are going to drop anything. Moving on. Oh, very good. Can't make that. Don't have a double jump. Not yet. Remember when I was trying to, like, do a cheese move for Symphony of the Night to level up, I would go to where the ghosts would spawn in and let my familiars do the work. It was an easy way to get them some experience and get me some experience, although it wasn't much. There's other ways you could do it, but, like, certain areas of the game where there were enemies that would constantly respawn, if you just left the game sitting overnight and let your familiars do all the work to kill the enemies, they would level up, and then you would come back, and instead of having to spend hours and hours grinding, they'd be, leveled to the point where they were actually lethal against the enemy. There we go. Oh, gotcha. Oh, Mudman. It was the original version of Spoon Man. Mudman! Come together with your filth. Cover me. Cover me in your sticky brown. Oh, God. I don't know. I want to know what the sticky brown is. All right. Well, there's something over there. Well, I don't know if I can make that jump. Whee! I can't. But I didn't need to. All right. So is that health, a boss, or just a path forward? Aha! It's health. Take a drink. If you were in a part of the US or other parts of the world where the weather was not awful, and you happen to decide to celebrate the 4th of July, I don't know why you would do it outside the country, but who knows? People are weird. I hope you did. Special occasion. Not going to happen again, ever. You're only going to turn 251 time. Just wish it wasn't miserably hot outside today. Like, they had a big fair at the National Mall. That would have been one of those things that would have been nice to experience if the weather wasn't god-awful, but yeah, there was no way I was going to go out in 105-degree heat. Just don't care that much. Care enough to make a video for my channel, but not necessarily go out and celebrate. I level again? I hit the wrong button to find out. Oh! I want to say one of these guys drops a card. Not a specific model, but like... Boy, a lot of characters drop wristbands. What the hell am I going to do with those? Again, I don't remember there being a shop. Maybe there is a shop. What is this? Oh, yeah, I don't want the dagger. Allie! Skewered me. Damn it! A hell of a knockback when they hit you. Gotcha. Oh, no, you don't. I said, oh, no, you don't. Nope! Alright, so that looks like it's a one-way path, and I'm not going to be able to come back if I go down there. So let's go this way first. Oop. I'll go ahead and say it. I think I bought the Nintendo DS for Castlevania. Because I really liked Symphony of the Night, and when they made Dawn of Sorrow, I feel like I was absolutely going to pick that up because I had played Aria of Sorrow through, shall we say, less than legal means, and said, oh, this is an awesome game, and if they're making a sequel to this particular style of play, I gotta play it. I have no regrets. All right, let's... Oh, boy. I don't want to save scum. We'll give it a shot. Who knows? Maybe we'll win, maybe we'll lose. Oh, is this Cerberus? It's Cerberus, isn't it? It is. Bad dog. I reused the Warg model from Symphony of the Night. I say in a winning strategy, I'm doing almost no damage. Unfortunately, it does not look like I have a weapon that's going to work on this guy, or a card that's going to work on this guy, because... Ooh, that was a good call, ducking! Oh, God. Run! Run! Okay, that was a bad idea. Yeah, flip to your other mode. Jump over me. Or not. Well, ow. I don't think it's gonna... Oh, well, did a little more damage. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Jump! Alright, stay here for now. down. Gotcha! Hey! Didn't have to save scum at all. I beat his ass. I think you get one of those recovery gems right in the center of the map. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Alright, our prize for beating Cerberus is a necklace. A double necklace. What does that mean? Double jump? Double jump. Very good. You get that early in this game. And let me scoop up a little bit of loot while we're going through here. Yeah, there's no way there's a shop if you haven't picked up a single penny yet. I have no idea what you do with all the extra items you pick up. I guess at some point you'll just max out and they won't let you pick up anymore. Get out of here. Get out of here. I said get out of here. Whoa! Damn it. Alright, we gotta be careful. Whoop. No! No! Whoa! Alright. Get up. 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 Where was that save? Alright, we gotta go up further. Nope. I think we're at the top. Go up. Up. Did that skeleton literally throw a bomb straight up in the air trying to hit me? That was dumb. He killed himself. What you want to say is how the bomb armor dies in Symphony of the Night. When you actually defeat one, it just drops a bomb at its own feet and blows up. That was, I think, when people complain about the lack of, like, detailed animation in this game, what they were complaining about is the fact that, and of course, that game didn't necessarily invent it, but Symphony of the Night used a lot of animations that were created for Rondo of Blood, or Dracula X, whichever you want to call, that were created in that game, and basically borrowed that going forward for quite a few games in the future. Yeah, we'll do that. I want defense. But you see that, and then you go backwards to a Game Boy game where no enemy does anything other than blows up into a fire. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of underwhelming. Come on. I'm pretty sure the enemies that are going to drop an elemental card, you're going to know because you're going to see that they have a specific element as part of their name or what they do. Mummies ain't going to give you anything. Oh, holy water. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's do holy water. All right, where are we? We're looping back to the big area we kind of started in. Probably the right idea, because we'll see some stuff that we hadn't been able to get before. Can I make that? No, I can't. Whee! Ow, my ankles. Alright, so we are back where we had been previously. Can I do anything here? I can. Nope, don't want it. I don't want it. Nice bass on the soundtrack there. If nothing else, it demonstrates the advancement of the sound processor for the Game Boy, because the Game Boy's processor, the original handheld, very chirpy. No surprise, it was a pretty crude handheld. I mean, it probably felt super impressive when it came out originally, but yeah, by comparison, it's archaic. Let's see. Is there anything else down there we could try? There is. We're going to be back down there eventually. I don't know. I think there are warp rooms in this map. Is this just taking me back to the room I was in before? Yeah, let's do it. Oh, we haven't gone this way. Health! Precious health. Yeah, it was worthwhile. And then there's a missing step right there. Whee! Ow, my ankles. Want another crack at that Earth Demon. I know he has something. Oh, okay, so we couldn't do this because we don't have the ability to push that block. Eh, whatever. But we can certainly go after the demon a little more. And I'm a tiny bit stronger. Not just physically, but also emotionally. I like that you can do the spinning whip while you're ducked. I think that was always something you could do in, like, say, Castlevania 4 or Rondo of Blood. I don't remember. I would assume you could. Why wouldn't you? Right? Nope, that's not what we wanted. I mean, we'll put it on. Why do you keep doing that? That boosts our magic, which is good. You know what? No, because we want to take a couple shots at him. I said I wasn't going to grind, but we want at least a couple of cards to look at before we finish our long look at the game. Plus, it was fruitful. We got an item out of it. An item we needed. I didn't need, but wanted. Could benefit from. I know you dropped. Actually, I can check real quick. I think I have something pulled up. Did not have something pulled up, but we can find something real quick. Earth Demon, yeah. So Earth Demon gives you Serpent card. Didn't drop it. All right. Whee! I don't think it's necessarily special or unique to this area that I happen to live in, but there are plenty of places that I could go if I really wanted to see fireworks on the 4th. Lots of major sports arenas that are in the area, or sports stadiums. Not just Major League, but also minor league sports teams. There we go. Got the card. We'll do fireworks displays around the 4th. Not just the day of, but also the day before and day after if they have the items to do so. So once you use the ability, the game tells you what exactly you're going to get out of it. The action card is the same, so if we put on Serpent, it should give us the ability to do Earth-based whip attacks. Oh, that's not Earth at all. What is that? Ice! Okay. And you see it says that you can use the enemies as platforms. Oh, put that away. Not to mention, I live near Quantico. Quantico puts on a fireworks demonstration, I think. Or I guess they could also just fire off some artillery. That's not what they do. You can go up to DC. DC's not a long drive from where I live, and you can definitely go to the National Mall. They do stuff there as well. Oh, damn it. All right, we want to just go up, right? Up and... Well, we'll save, but we really want to go up and right. Save. Oh, there's a third attribute card that we can find up above. All right, so we haven't found an action card, but there is an attribute card. And it was an enemy that, for whatever reason, Spidey sense started tingling when I saw him. The Axe Armor drops one of the attribute cards. How does that make sense? I don't know. love how many items I'm getting drops for. Yep. All right, so the axe armor that was right up here can drop a card. Was there a door behind him? There sure was. That'll make this easier. In fact, we'll use the, yeah, alright. But he's got a hell of a throw on that, oh, there it is! Got it. Mandragora. Alright, so let's put that on and find out what it does. I don't remember what Mandragora does. Plant-based attack? Yeah, weird. It's got to be something else other than just plant. Whip of Thorns to attack enemies. All right, whatever. I have no idea what that does to help me. I would suspect if you use certain additional cards, they help you regenerate health slowly. All right, moving on. I'm glad it didn't take a ton of grinding. All right, I think we can make this. Yep. And we need some hearts. Yep. All right, so we can go up. I don't know if we can go all the way up or we can go right. Right is probably going to lead to an all new area that we can't get to because I can't push that. So I should shut the hell up. And all right, we got about 8 minutes left in this episode. We'll play until we get to another save point, and then we will go ahead and call it. If it's right here, I'm not going to save and quit right now. Go a little bit further. Right now, the heart of... Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I bet this is a save room. It was a save room. Right now, the sub-weapons, not all that important to me, so I'm glad they're giving me all of these heart items. I'm not going to use many of them. All right, I think we've capped out where we can go. Again, I think you get like a gravity boot style of item that lets you jump up like infinitely as long as your magic holds out, so that's how you get through that area eventually. Thorn Whip! Nice. I mean, I think these guys were already dying on one hit, but whatever, I'm doing slightly more damage. Am I doing slightly more damage? Let's find out. I'm doing a lot more damage, actually. Damn it! Oh! Make some progress, you fool. It's funny, I can hear someone firing mortars off. Airborne fireworks are illegal in the state I live in, so... This has got to be one of those days where the local... We don't have police in the county I live in, we have sheriffs only. Where the local sheriffs just gotta, like, stick their fingers in their ears and go, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Because they know if we go there and we, like, see what they're doing, we have to, like, give them a fine or a ticket or whatever. All right. Wow, we went up a hell of a long way. We'll keep going up. Oop! Made it. This is the final boss encounter, isn't it? Nope, don't want it. Water good. And if you didn't get him the first time, here's your second chance to get the guy. And this just takes us back to... Oh no, we're over top of it. Although I have a feeling if I go down, I'm going to find my way back to that room from the other side. No, you won't find Camilla and Dracula just standing there going, hey, I wonder where those guys went. Oh, here it is. And that's where we face them. Door cannot be opened as far as I know. Yep. It's locked. No kidding. Not going down yet. What was up? Oh, can't go that way. We need the, what was the item in, Symphony of the Night? We need the Jewel of Open to open the blue door. Or whatever. That was like, there were plenty of items in that game that they just didn't know what the hell to call them, so they just gave them the weirdest names. Like, there's, Holy Symbol is the item you gotta pick up in order to... Yes, we did find a secret room. What do you know? Holy Symbol is the item you had to pick up to make it so that Alucard could go underwater, and it was literally just a snorkel. What a goofy idea. Skeleton Soldier. I don't know why, but that one also makes me think he dropped something, but I'm not certain of that. Nah, doesn't look like it. Alright, moving on. Oh! You bastard. Ah, he drops armor. And he takes a hit to the nuts very well. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. And that's a door. They're all doors. Let's go to this door first. Can't go any further. Let's go to the next door down. Wait, oh, there's another one down below. Triumph Hallway. Where Triumph the Insult Comic Dogs lives. Oh, no, you don't. Get out of here. Clinking Man. He's not doing a whole lot of clinking right now. Maybe they mean drinking man because he's stumbling. Well, he just dropped prison garb. All right, let's see what that does. Leather armor. Raises my attack by a tiny bit. Let's do that. Oh, you jerk. All right, now... Oh, look at that. The flea men, not as imposing as they had been in the past. Kind of clumsy, kind of goofy. Not tough. So, if these are Will-o'-the-Wisp, do we ever actually get to see just the wisp? Ever think about that? Fantasy games, naval and nautical themed games, they probably all have like Will-o'-the-Wisp type enemies. Why don't we ever see like the Wisp himself? Hi, I'm Wisp. I'm here to kill you. I would have set my will, but he got lost. Gotcha. Another wristband. Hooray. All right. I wonder if we didn't miss a save room back the other way, but whatever. Flame armor's gotta have something. You know it. And I think I should be using this guy. Oh, look at that! I mean, I'm not doing a ton of damage, but I am hitting really fast. And I need to use my potion before I die. Oh boy, that didn't do much. See ya! Oh! Oh, no you don't. Killed you. Alright, get that off. Yeah, we gotta take that. I mean, come on. That's the item of the game. Alright, I am fairly certain that was an enemy that dropped something. Flame armor drops... Huh? Nothing. Flame armor drops absolutely nothing. I mean, we do technically already have Salamander, so why would there be another card on him? Or there be another enemy that drops it. It looks like exactly one enemy drops all the cards in the game, or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's exactly one enemy for each card in the game that you can get the card from. So despite the fact that the Flame Demon seems to be screaming, hey, I drop a flame card, he does not. Gotcha. I don't want that. I don't want it. Damn. All right, so this was a dead end. Nope. I know. Get out of here. All right, stop clinking, man. I guess we go up and right. We gotta keep going until we find a save. Obviously, I could just do a save state, but I don't want to. How much to the next level? 485 experience. I have no idea what these guys are giving me. Not much. How about you? Not much more. We just need to hightail it to a save room. That's all there is to it. And we never found the other way through. Well, no, because there was a big door there, wasn't there? Yeah, can't do that. We could drop all the way down, but we would have to make our way back to where we had already been. That's a bad idea. Let's go up. Nope, get up there. I like the idea of being able to whip these guys and freeze them. Yeah. Screw you! Oh, no, you don't. Suck it. No, you don't. I think it might have touched me anyway. Oh, no. If nothing else, I just like the extra added, like, attack speed for this particular item. Oh, boy. Don't like how he touched me. Oh, nope. No touch. Oh, damn it. Oh, we gotta get rid of him quick. All right. I hate to do it. I have to do a save state. If I don't get to a save room, we're in trouble. And, well, a couple of choices. This might be the one. It might be the one above. Nope. Go up. I need that save room. Please be a save room. Yes. All right. So we managed to defeat our first boss, the Cerberus, and we did pick up 4 cards, 3 attribute cards and 1 action card. We haven't found another action card yet, but we do have the elements for fire, ice, and plant. I guess that's what it's supposed to be because it gives you a thorn whip. The utility of the whip attacks is so-so right now. The different actions that you get during the game usually stray far away from just, hey, make your whip do a special elemental attack. Like, they'll give you new abilities. Like, hey, if you use this, it'll give you like a shield effect, or you regenerate health over time, or you can run really fast. In fact, I want to say there's one where it's a time-based activation where it'll give you like 60 magic per second of invincibility, where literally you can't take damage at all. That's one of the super unique ones where you got to have like Pluto, the Pluto card to activate it. And you also have to have, I think, Unicorn. But I would like to find a couple of different action cards before we get to the point in the game where we finish up and offer final thoughts on the game. We'll actually do a review. I think I've played it enough in the past where I can definitely offer thoughts on it. But as it is, we've already found 4 of the total of 20 possible cards. So they give you some stuff to play around with very early in the game. You don't have to wait too long before you start getting to experiment with these. But yeah, I think what would really be nice before we finish up is get another action card so we can play around with a couple of different effects before we call it a series here. All right, that's going to do it for part 1 of our 3-part look at Castlevania Circle of the Moon. As always, I do appreciate each of you watching, and I will see you next time.